Vampires couldn't see their reflections because mirrors used to be backed with a layer of silver, which was considered a pure metal, so it didn't interact with vampires. However, modern mirrors are now backed with aluminum, so they would be able to see their reflections. How many vampires do you think have been hit by a car backing up in a parking lot because the driver couldn't see their reflection? I've never considered it, but you're really shining a light on what's probably a very serious issue. I would really hope they notice a car coming toward them, or else they're the worst apex predator ever. This is also an extremely valid point. I received this comically large pencil as a gift several years ago, and my first thought, understandably, was, what the heck am I meant to do with this? A second thought I had was, I'm quite certain I could ruin someone's day with this. And so a while ago, I took it with me to a lecture, hoping against hope that whichever poor fool was unfortunate enough to sit next to me might have forgotten or misplaced their writing implement. Utilizing the pencil is also dependent on the person not using a laptop, so the chances of success are extraordinarily slim. And I've only managed to find suitable candidates 3 times in all the dozens of occasions I've had the pencil on my person. I size up my target, watching them feign patting their pockets in vain for the ballpoint they so obviously left at home, and I wait. I wait for the blessed question. Do you have a pen I could borrow? Oh, I say, I'm so sorry, I only have a pencil. That's fine, I hear them say, distantly now as the blood is rushing to my ears and I can barely hear them. I maintain a straight face. This is key to the delivery and the final blow. I reach into my bag for the pencil. The look of utter dumbfounded misery as I hand it to the victim is unparalleled in its sweetness. In an instant, their eyes flicker through the 5 stages of grief, landing on acceptance as they realize it's this or nothing. Still maintaining that eye contact, I smile, only the tiniest fraction. The unspoken words forming between us. What are you gonna do now, huh? You feeling lucky, kiddo? Buddy? Buckaroo? You gonna kick up a fuss in the silent lecture theater, huh? Or will you take the pencil? They always take the pencil. The world's tiniest dragon must defend his hoard, a single gold coin from those who would steal it. Suggestion, the dragon's definition of steal is somewhat loose. It still allows the coin to be used and bartered and change hands, but on one condition, the dragon must be with it at all times. They become a familiar sight in the marketplace. Here's your change, ma'am. 1 gold piece. The merchant holds out a palm, on top of which rests a tiny, brilliantly colored creature clutching a single gold coin. That's a dragon, you say dumbly. 1 piece and a dragon. Yeah, you cautiously reach out and attempt to take your change. You tug, it holds. You tug harder, dragon lets loose a tiny protective growl. Ma'am, no, ma'am, you have to take the dragon too. Sorry? The seller notes your dubious expression. Not from around here, are ya? They shrug. Them's the rules. Take the coin, take the dragon. They wait expectantly, wondering how the world has so suddenly gone mad. You slowly hold out your hand. The dragon perks right up. It scampers from their palm to yours with the coin clamped in its jaws and scales your sleeve with sharp little claws. Have a nice day, ma'am, the merchant says. Spend him soon now, you hear? At another booth if you can. He likes to travel. Prince perch upon your shoulder, dragon lets out a happy trill. Bonus, the coin eventually passes to the rogue and a group of traveling adventurers. The dragon becomes the mascot of the entire group, and they lay out a small pile of coins for him to sleep on every night, clutching his coin like a teddy bear. We've got an itinerant cheese-selling woman who comes into town every Friday morning to sell the cheeses she purchases from the local farms, and I like this old-fashioned way of buying cheese. Other people, like the mayor, find it mortifying that our village is too small to support its own cheese shop. She stations herself in the plaza and likes to share news about the farms and villages she's visited this week. At the moment, we get a lot of baby animal news, like new calf announcements. She has the unfortunate habit of denigrating her own cheeses without meaning to, because she's a cheese perfectionist. You ask for blue, she grimaces hesitantly and says, poor choice, doesn't look quite right to me today. Or you tell her, I really like the brie I picked up last time, so creamy, and she shakes her head and goes, you got lucky, often that farmer gives me such a brie with a chunky texture. Then she suddenly looks frustrated with herself. You can tell she's thinking, why am I giving this information to a client? I'm the worst cheese saleswoman ever. It's very endearing. She also sells eggs and always writes the name of the farmer she got it from on each carton, so you can make sure you buy your friend's eggs and avoid your enemy's eggs. You've got to be like 6 Gilbert eggs, please, and publicly announce where your loyalty lies. It's a whole thing. If one day you decide to go rogue and ask for Agnes's eggs instead, you can be sure people will notice, and they will talk. Getting my own chickens is the only way I've found to avoid pledging egg allegiance. I am obsessed with this egg-based click culture. Some things are just extremely French. I would be the worst spy of all time, because on one hand, I overshare like hell, but on the other hand, I also have the memories, so it's really a lose-lose scenario for everyone involved. Guy interrogating me. What's the passcode? Me. I think it might be 7924. Actually, no, I think it starts with the 2. Yeah, I usually just rely on muscle memory for it. Do you think you could get a keypad in here? That might be faster. Guy interrogating me. Who do you work for? Me. Okay, so this is super embarrassing. I know he told me his name when we first met, but I forgot. And at this point, it would be weird if I asked him for his name again, right? So I just kind of go with sir whenever I have to talk to him. It might be David, though. He looks like a David. Me after being extracted. Bad news, guys. I totally blew Dave's cover. My boss. Wait, what? Yeah, like they had knives and and it was kind of stressful, so I just told him that my contact's name was David Johnson. Really sorry about that. But we don't have a David Johnson working for us. Are you thinking of James? Good news, guys. I did not blow James's cover. Enemy 1, so how'd the interrogation go? Enemy 2, we got nothing. All they did was ramble on about their childhood trauma for 2 hours. Huh, maybe lower the dose of the truth serum next time? We didn't use truth serum. So I managed to listen in on them for an hour through the air ducts. And what did you learn? Oh, nothing. I zoned out like 5 minutes into them talking. Me, my parents, my sister, and the baby are sitting at the kitchen table eating lunch. Baby pointing at the light fixture over the table and signing on. My sister, we actually can't turn that light on right now because the light bulb inside is burnt out. It needs a new one. Baby, sister, yes, light bulb. Granddaddy said after we eat, he's gonna climb up there on a ladder and change it, and then the light will come on. Baby, get dada, ada, oo, ibu, ah. Sister, exactly. Baby signing on and pointing at the light, and then my dad with increasing urgency. Get dada, ada, oo, ah. My sister, we're gonna finish eating first though, okay? Baby, no. Oh, get dada, ada, oo. A split second goes by. Baby pointing to himself. Ba, ada, oo, ibu. Me, you're gonna climb up the ladder and change the light bulb yourself? Baby, yeah. Pointing to the buckle where he's buckled into the high chair. Ooh, boo boo. Me, unbuckle you so you can change the light bulb? Baby, highly businesslike. Yeah. Oh, and this is pronounced like on without the This makes me wonder how fast adults might learn a language if we were completely unafraid to walk up to a native speaker and say, Gua? How many babies does it take to adau obu? A baby just handed me this on my flight. I ain't even mad. Hi, stranger. My name is Madeline. I will be 1 on December 17th, and this is my first flight. I'll try to be on my best behavior, but I'd like to apologize in advance if I lose my cool, get scared, or my ears hurt. My mom and dad packed you this goodies bag with a few treats. There are also earplugs in case my first public serenade isn't as enjoyable to you as it is my mom and dad. Have a great flight. A long time ago, I was in a typography class, and I had an assignment to draw a word out of its material, like writing rock and drawing it to make it look like it's carved from stone. I chose hair and was proud enough of the result that I ended up posting it online to Twitter. Whoever I showed it to online, I got a weird reaction like, oh, cool. Which was strange because I was expecting to get complimented on it. It turned out that no one thought it was a drawing. For months, everyone I showed it to thought I was playing with wet hair clippings in my spare time like some nasty little freak. There is a village in Palmitas, Mexico that gave complete authority to a group of young graffiti artists to redesign their town. They painted 209 houses into one massive rainbow mural, ultimately leading to a drastic drop in crime and violence. Tiger gets a bad baby tooth removed. When a tiger's first response to having a tooth yanked is not to roar, snarl, or swipe with its claws, but a test nibble to check that its mouth works as well as it suddenly feels, it speaks volumes about how much the bad tooth must have hurt. You can see, briefly, that it's black and nasty on the inner side. Yuck. Poor baby. I'm just awed by the amount of trust in this gift. That tiger totally trusts that the human is gonna help it with that scary metal object on an already painful area, and the human totally trusts that the tiger is just test nibbling and not chomping down on his arm. I flinch when a house cat comes at me too fast, and these two don't even hesitate to trust each other. Baby. I cannot explain my fondness for the words test nibble. Did you know newborn babies grab anything near their hand because they're instinctively looking for a shovel or pickaxe so that they can begin to toil in grubby human minds far below? Let them have what they desire. Translating baby. Gaga baba dada. Father, I hunger to prove myself through toil in the mines. Wah blah blah. Neath rock and quarry lies the precious ore. Dada gooda. The child labor laws of 1938 were too restrictive. I can hear the song of the pickaxe striking. My brothers, it is time. Game, you need to be about level 20 to defeat this boss. Me, oh geez, I better go do some grinding. Me 2 weeks later, overleveled by 80, returning to the boss. I'm your god now. Game, you need to be at level 20 to defeat this boss. My level 2 who's about to have a come to Jesus meeting. That's just a recommendation, right? The two types of gamers. You like jazz? Do you particularly enjoy jazz music? I would like to inquire about your opinion regarding the combination of improvisation, swing notes, and ragtime rhythms in musical form. In regards to your personal opinion on topics relating to certain matters, the musical patterns which feature such known manners as swing notes, improvisation, call and response vocals, and other such similar techniques of musical art under the influence of previously commonly used musical patterns such as blues, folk, and tribal African and European musical combinations create a joyful emotion that you experience as you listen to this particular style of musical work. UK grading system: 75 to 100 A+, 70 to 74 A, 64 to 69 A-, 60 to 63 B+, 55 to 59 B, 50 to 54 B-, 46 to 49 C+, 43 to 45 C, 38 to 42 C-, 35 to 37 D, and 0 to 34. Time to move to the UK. Dude, I would for that grading. I know Unicorns are usually silver or lavender with those skinny horse legs built for running, but I like to see more unicorns with natural coloration built like tanks like these beasts. We need like a scale of unicorn. On one end you have Amalthea, last unicorn, who's the peak of elegant, otherworldly unicorns with silver and lavender colors. We need the opposite of that. We need a unicorn who looks like the horse version of a trucker. We all get sagged that insects aren't at least dog size, and octopuses only live in the ocean, and there are no air jellyfish or visibly ambulatory plants, and all the giant sea lizards are gone, but sometimes you gotta just tell yourself some life forms are special because they're tiny or they're far away or they helped build the world we have now. We're just the weird ones for being terrestrial macrofauna, and it's pretty special that we have all brains capable of marveling at things at all. I'm sad because I'll never see a Quetzalcoatlus. Consider, you live alongside pelicans and flamingos. Really sit and think about how unbelievably strange a filter-feeding bird is and how lucky we are to be around them. Think about the fact that you and everyone you know gets to live at the same time as the blue whale, the single largest animal that has ever lived, water or land. You can pick one blue and one red potion. Exceptional potion, you no longer need to breathe, eat, sleep, drink, or even move. Extra life potion, the next time you live instead, giving you at least 20 more healthy years to live. The mind potion, you can read minds, do telepathy, no emotions, and see items pass by touching it. And the money potion, all of your debts are cleared and you get $500 a day forever, even in